Hey guys, it is I. Hey, sorry, I haven't made videos the last couple of weeks. Been traveling a lot for basketball. Oh my god, being a sports parent is a whole nother life. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about that today. Maybe I should make a channel on being a sports parent because that life be lifing, bro. Uh, anyways, back to the regular stuff. I was just listening to this lady talking about um, paying high mortgages now is a way of life. Essentially, like 3,000 is a new normal for mortgage and stuff like that, and either you pay that to a landlord or pay that in rent for someone else. And I want to talk about that, right? So, if you live on a rock, or you live homeless, or you're a nomad, I guess, you will realize that mortgages are very expensive, right? You have to have a certain net worth these days to buy certain types of homes, especially in suburbia like where I live. But I don't believe that mortgages need to be, well, at least for you, a crazy amount, right? There's still ways to house hack and stuff, and I will talk about it, right? Something, if I was buying a house today, let's say I was, well, I bought my first house back in 2015. Can't remember how old I was then. That's 10 years, 11 years ago. Oh, so, well, damn. Okay. All right. So I do know how old I was, but I don't want to talk about that because I'm old. But all right, let's say I was buying a house again, right? Today, what would I do? If I was still in the military, let's say I was a young staff sergeant making BAH, BAS, had a young family and stuff like that. If I had a family, I would have to figure something out, right? Because something else out because I would have issues having other people live with me or stuff like that, right? But if I was a single airman or a single staff sergeant, what I would do is I would buy a house and rent out rooms to people I work with. I know that sounds kind of like, well, you see them at work, you see them home, but hear me out. It's kind of like a house hacking because you rent out your rooms, which helps cover the base amount. So it will help you make your mortgage smaller, right? Like, so let's say you did buy a house for a $3,000 mortgage, but you have like a 3 bedroom house and you rent out 2 rooms for $1,000. You could definitely use that money to pay down on the mortgage, so you're only paying $1,000 out of pocket to cover your $3,000 mortgage, right? The downsides to that is like if people leave, you have to figure out the difference, right? But the cool thing about renting to military people, well, unless you do drugs or you get a DUI or something, you're not getting kicked out. So odds are you're going to have money to pay, or you have the PCS and stuff. You're going to have money to pay the mortgage and live there for a long period of time, at least a year, right, or two. And the other downside, because it's not going to be all gumdrops and rainbows. As I said, you may work with these people. You hopefully you could find people you don't work with. So, and preferably different schedules too, so you guys are not in each other's faces 24/7, because that could be annoying too, right? If you are there, somebody else is there, so you'll have to have the house set up in a way where people can have their own common, the common area is a common area, and people have specific times and stuff like that. You have to come to different agreements. I've seen people do that before, but I would say you have to start thinking outside the box to buy homes in certain areas. And then another way to house hack, technically, is to find a remote job and live in areas people are not rushing to go to, right? I heard like Florida, they're not really trying to move people. Sorry, something else. Yes, tickling my throat. People are not rushing to Florida per se because I guess Florida is not, what do you call it? It's not as popular as it used to be because of insurance growth and stuff, right? Insurance is very high. So you can figure out different ways to house hack, but to say that houses have to be a specific mortgage these days and you have to pay it, I don't think it's true. can also buy houses on auctions. So yeah, you have to pay a down payment usually, but if you save up enough, you could get a house on a discounted rate, which could help too. So there's different methods, right? But so yes, okay. So she's not absolutely wrong, right? If you go buy a house outright right now, yes, it will be a lot of money. But there's different methods you can use to kind of sneak in. So I guess she's right, but it's not as bad as she's making it out to be, in my opinion. Worst case scenario, live in Texas or something. You know what I mean? I see houses going there for fairly cheap. So, all right, you guys tell me what you think. Comment down below.